Alright, and I know some of us are going to be disappointed that we never got to see more from evil Morty, but I kind of did like this episode. It was kind of weird because it kind of shows us how much more madness goes on behind the scenes when we're not watching Rick and Morty. And it's kind of like there were so many meta references where they were aware of the show. They were aware of some of the techniques that happen in shows when they do memories, and then even though someone's memories, you get to see everyone else what they're up to. It's like, but how do you know what they're up to? So many things were going on in this episode. I feel like if we've just kind of jumped into this review, so let me start. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to Chris is Talking. This is your weekly Rick and Morty review, discussion, talk, depends on whatever the fuck I decide to title it. Now, this is for episode 8, and I hope you guys stick around and enjoy this video because I do make weekly videos of Rick and Morty. And obviously, if you do enjoy this, then please be awesome and fucking thrust that subscribe button. Because it's about them views. Views? I said views with a T. I said views. That's one of the weirdest things I've done in a while, and I am not really all there. 270 videos. Check it out for yourself. Now, Now, I actually did like this episode. It wasn't as intense as last week's episode. And last week's episode, it seemed like if it was just about nothing. Well, the Citadel of Rick. And I know you're thinking, why are you talking about the Citadel of Rick? Because I didn't do last week's review. So then we kind of, let me do me. It's my channel. So with the whole Citadel of Rick thing and Evil Morty, a lot of us were actually hoping that it was going to continue on to this episode. But if we know the creators of Rick and Morty, then we know that they're never going to fucking connect things how we want it to connect. The reason why they're geniuses is because they know how to milk us, how to draw us in. And I really like how after such an intense episode last week, this episode almost seemed pointless. But I really like this episode because it let us see how crazy their adventures actually are and how much is going on behind the scenes. Way more is going on behind the scenes. I know we know way more is going on behind the scenes, but guys, a lot is going on behind the scenes. When we actually got to see the whole of Morty's memories, and we got to see that it was like the whole fucking bottom of the garage and there's just loads of the crystals there. I was like, yo, this is a lot of erased memories. This is actually quite fucking crazy. This is crazy deep. Like, how many fuck ups have happened? And what also happened is when they went into more depth when they went into more depth and then they kind of explained, well, they didn't really explain. Morty kind of figured it out for us, but we were figuring it out as it was going on as well, which is kind of cool because as Morty figures things out, we figure things out. But when Morty kind of pointed out, wait a second, so the blue ones are his mistakes, and then the purple ones are the family's mistakes. What are the red ones? And this episode pretty much goes through all the mistakes or all the reasons why Morty has had to have his mind wiped, and there has been a lot of reasons. It kind of balances out. It goes from Morty's stupidity and him just being naive and him just being a fucking idiot to this is definitely not going to be monetized, to like literally the issues of his family. Now, like I know I could be going into way more depth, but this episode was so many small things going on that if I went into depth with every single little thing, I would literally be talking about the whole episode. I would literally just be force feeding you what happened in the episode. I kind of just want to talk about the things that kind of stood out to me. And what really stood out to me is Beth chose Summer easily, like literally the alien was like, I know how important kids are to you, so you have to choose one of your kids. Summer! I was like, whoa. There was no thought in that. And Morty's eyes when she chose him, is that a fly? Morty's eyes, I get so distracted so easily, but Morty's eyes when Beth chose Summer, had me in pieces. And then what took the piss as well is then there's a cutscene to afterwards of the repercussion of Beth choosing Summer, and it was legit like some weird fly. If you guys have seen Terraformers, I really hope that never happens to me. But it was legit crazy how I am going all over the place. But good thing I can edit this video. Beth choosing Summer to take the alien caterpillar penis thing down his throat. Ugh. And what took the piss was the way to get it out of Morty was by showing Morty love. That's all they had to do. And they couldn't do that. They couldn't do a simple simplest thing. And I thought that was really kind of crazy because it showed how dark and sinister and fucked up that whole family is. But that's actually one of my favorite scenes in that. One of my favorite Morty mistakes that were kind of shown in this episode was when Morty literally, all Morty wanted to do was basically do a Dr. Dolittle, was to understand animals and see what they're thinking. You know how naive and simple he is. But no, Morty, there's a reason why we don't have that power. Literally, squirrels is all I want to say. Squirrels went on a mad one, and I like how at first it seemed kind of crazy and really far-fetched because they're talking about some crazy shit going around the world, almost like a conspiracy theory that the squirrels are actually behind everything. But then as they started following Morty and he got kind of scared and he was like, oh shit, and he could understand everything they were saying, and they were like, look, it's almost like if the human understands us. He's looking at it, he's what is this? And then Morty's like, shit, if I run or respond and then they're aware that I'm here, and then he kind of starts walking faster, and then starts running, and you look behind him, always squirrels are chasing after him. What I thought that was reason why I thought this was hilarious is because if you ever surrounded by squirrels, like it'll be like 1 or 2 squirrels, and then there'll be more squirrels, and if you start running, loads of squirrels will chase after you, and the last thing you want is squirrels can't speak, it's squirrels, Saitama's your fault, it's squirrels to chase after you. And I don't know why, he touched me here, show me where he touched you, touch me here. What the fuck's wrong with me? But yeah, so I thought that was really, really cool. Like, to be honest, this episode was a bunch of little things here and there, loads of little references which really stood out to me. And I heard YouTube, I had to laugh out loud. YouTube is pretty cool because they get more views because of YouTube, meta jokes. And one of my actual favourite scenes actually had nothing to do with the whole memories, actually, was the whole, like, once Morty realizes that Rick has fucked up his life, which is pretty much what this is all about, Morty ends up literally just going crazy and ends up trying to erase Rick's memory, but then Rick ends up erasing Morty's memory, and then they both have no memories. And then a third of the episode is literally them figuring out the memories of who they are and why they're there and all that kind of stuff. But as it goes on, and Morty's getting his memories back, and he starts realizing, wait a second, we're not happy, we don't like each other, we go through a lot of misadventures, we fuck up quite a lot. And they start realizing, wait, they actually do hate each other. Well, Beth chooses Summer over Morty. That was clearly shown, and I thought that was super unfair but super funny. Rick has just fucked up Morty's life so much, has literally ruined his life so much. Morty's just a fucking idiot. So he's ruined his own life so much. He's caused so much destruction. He's the reason why they've had to go from fucking different alternate universes because of Morty's fuck ups. So once was because of Rick in season 1, and then this time in this episode, we get to find out that they did it again because of Morty. So they're just as bad as each other. For a second, I thought that Morty was Rick. The whole like conspiracy, or maybe Rick is Morty and Morty's Rick, when Morty's brain started getting frazzled and then he started getting a drool thing. But then I realized maybe it's just the design for the drool thing. Who knows? And then Summer comes out of nowhere. And then she literally goes, oh, you guys doing this again? And then like, oh, what phase are you on? And then they obviously don't know what the fuck is going on because they try to kill each other suddenly. So now, like, literally, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm going all over the place because so much is going on. I have so many notes here, and I'm literally just trying to read small notes, kind of go back and forth. But so much is going on. This episode was a little bit all over the place, but at the same time, it really got to give us an in-depth of how messed up Rick and Morty actually are, and their adventures will go on for a lifetime. I do feel sorry for Mr. Luna, the moon guy, who looks like a smudge. He looks like a smudge, and because of that, Morty thought he was a pedo. Well, Morty didn't think he was a pedo. Morty tried to rat him out that he was a moon guy. He didn't even have a fucking explanation of what he thought he was. But he told his principal. The principal went and spoke to him, punched him in the face, and was like, oh, I thought that moon guy was a code for a pedophile. That guy ends up killing himself. Turns out to be a Marine. Craziness. So literally Morty has ruined a lot of lives. Oh, another life Morty's ruined was when that alien came along, was like, oh, if I could you please kill me? And then like Rick's like, oh, they have some faith that if they get killed by someone righteous, by a righteous warrior, then they'll die of an orgasmic death, but it needs to be by a righteous warrior, and that's their faith. So they go to a restaurant and they decide, before Rick decides, before I kill you, let's just go for some dinner, innit? We'll go and chill. Rick goes to the toilet. Morty's like, let me know more about your faith. The alien speaks to Rick, speaks to Morty, explains Morty about his faith. Then Morty goes, but do you have any faith? Oh, well, that's pretty cool that you guys have such a strong religion. Because here on Earth, like, we need evidence and we need like proof for that. Stirring up his belief, stirring up the thought of, oh my god, is this even like a real religion? Ends up deciding not to want to die, runs off, gets hit by a car, boom. And turns out his religion was real because he didn't get killed by someone righteous. He got killed by some randomer in a car. Demons and monsters came to get him. And I was like, Morty, you've ruined his life, man. What is going on? There was so much going on in this episode. Literally, what was your favourite part of this episode? What was your favourite Rick fuck up, Morty fuck up, and the family fuck up? And yeah, that's about it. I'm going to basically kind of leave it at that because I gotta go do some revision. Hence the reason why my videos are on and off sometimes. But yeah, if you do want more from myself, please show me some love. Do subscribe, like, thumbs up, all that good stuff that everybody on YouTube says. Hit thrust that like button. Hit thrust that like button. I'm gonna throw that away. Okay, hit thrust that like button, and I will see you guys soon. Peace. Don't know why I did that. What am I doing? I keep on changing my fucking ending, but it's fine. Hopefully nobody watches it to the end. If you watch it to the end, let me know at the bottom. Boom.